Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader Full Map Guide. Welcome to Koronus Expanse for the Chapter 2, where we're gonna cover everything there is in probably the biggest act chapter in the game. That would be Chapter 2. What is your main objective? Your main objective here is to re-establish your colonies, Janus, Kiava Gamma, and to find your home world Dargonus, assemble a fleet, build up your ship, scale, level up, and discover the big mystery that's happening in the system of Koronus Expanse that is absolutely huge. What I'll cover in Chapter 2 is every single system, map, item, puzzle, and everything that you can imagine, or better to say, 100% walkthrough guide. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go.
Are you ready for Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader? Because I am. The Emperor protects.
This would be the start of Act 2, Chapter 2 in the Furibundus System. Let's visit it. Before the game even allows you to go to Koronus Expanse, you will need to go to Footfall and rebuild your ship, repair your ship so you can actually travel through warp. So what you can do here is visit all of these three events, the planet, the Calixius, and the Drusus Blessing. Check out what is there, I don't want to spoil, and then we go directly to Footfall and begin the very first huge map in the game. Again, the main objective of Footfall is to repair your ship. Welcome to Footfall. This would be the entire world map of Footfall. Some mini maps are missing where you can enter through doors, but basically this is it. And now you're gonna do it in the exact order that I'm gonna tell you to do it, and everything will be fine. So, once you land on Footfall, you will start from Alpha-Rho docks, or better to say, Footfall Void Dock Alpha-Rho. That's the proper name of this map. And you're gonna start from this point. Once you enter Alpha-Rho, the first ambush will happen right on this spot. Once you win the fight, we go to Opticon 22. You're gonna visit Opticon, trade with him. Then you're gonna go down, discover a secret, incoming now. There you go. After you're done with the secret, you're gonna explore the entire map, go around all walls, hug everything, loot everything you can, do all skill checks and so on. Then you go on this door, and we are going to the Shadow Quarters of Footfall, and this is where you're gonna start, in the Shadow Quarters of Footfall. Now, when we enter Shadow Quarters, this would be the start. Then we're gonna go hug the left side, go straight over here until this mark. And here, you're gonna fight Anvers and Ember, the very first big fight, or as I like to call them, Bombardiers. If you are on a harder difficulty, you wanna trigger the fight with only one character from here, the rest will wait in this, call it like a hallway. And then as enemies come over here, they won't be able to bombard you like when you would face them straight on. Okay, so one of the ways to cheese this fight would be from the corridor here. Once we're done with this fight, you're gonna go up here, you're gonna discover one secret over here, perception check and so on, loot everything there is around, then scale the entire map, hug every line, do the skill checks, do everything that you can, okay, disarm some traps here and there, there is a secret for example over here, collect all of those pamphlets and so on, and once the map looks like this, okay, where is darker green, okay, not this, only where is darker green, you are ready to transfer to the door where you're gonna go to the Martyr's Endurance, or better to say, to the inn. Now here we are at the Martyr's Endurance. This is the entry point. You're gonna pass through here, some skill checks here and there. You're gonna speak with a bartender. There's tons of skill checks everywhere around here. There is a secret quest over here with the NPC. You're gonna trigger the quest. You're gonna pass through here, through this door. You're gonna do everything there is in this room with skill checks, with awareness checks and so on. And then you're gonna transfer over here and speak with Raisa, the trader, where you can trade stuff for profit factor. Also, if you remember from my previous guide for Act 1, if you saved the prisoners in prison on Raikadiphilia, now you're gonna get a discount here with Raisa, okay? And that's where it counts. After we do everything there is in the end, we go outside and we're gonna pick to go to the atrium on the main map over here. You click on the atrium, and once we're at the atrium, this is where you will start. What you need to do in the atrium. First, you're gonna go down here, you're gonna have a lot of skill checks, a lot of awareness checks, up and down, look everywhere, hug every corner. This secret here above, then over here another secret, then you do all of this, you unlock the door, you collect all loot and so on and whatnot, you do everything there is in this area, then you go down and speak with Doloroso. He is connected to Argenta's quest. He gives you the quest to exterminate the cultists, okay, which is on a different map. Once you do that, you're gonna ignore this part, you're gonna go straight up to the palace. Here, where you see all of these icons, is where the palace is. You go inside the palace, you're gonna encounter your new companion, Jaya Heydari. You won't be able to recruit her, because she's gonna wait you in the Martyr's Endurance. Once you finish with Jaya Heydari, you're gonna speak with Leash of Footfall, Vladimir Tokara. You do how you wanna do it, depends on your run of course, and you're gonna receive new objectives to recover Janus and food for Footfall if you want Footfall to provide assistance. And of course to deal with cultists and heretics on Footfall, or better to say, to deal with Envers. The same moment when you exit the Leash Palace, a huge ambush will happen on this spot, a huge fight, you win the fight, then you're gonna go down and you're gonna exit and you're gonna go back to Martyr's Endurance, where you're gonna meet Jaya right on this spot over here. You speak with Jaya, she gives you a quest to find her in the warehouse if you wanna recruit her as a companion. A new companion, the first companion in chapter 2. After we receive the quest for Jaya, we're gonna go back to the Shadow Quarters and we're gonna go over here where the door is, straight to the warehouse. And once you open the door, a mini map will appear where you're gonna have one huge fight. And once the fight is done, Jaya Heydari will join your team. Once Jaya Heydari joins your team, you loot everything there is in a warehouse. Again, it's a small map. You're gonna go back to Alpha Rho. Okay, from this door over here, you're gonna go back to Alpha Rho. And you wanna try to enter your Voidship now. And you're gonna see Heinrichs waiting for you at the shuttle. Speak with Heinrichs, recruit Heinrichs again, go to the Voidship, level up, equip new gear, get ready for the new run on Footfall. This time with 2 additional companions. Now you pick who you wanna take with you, of course. Now when we come back, we're gonna end up again in Alpha Rho, go past through the door, go to the Shadow Quarters, and here in the Shadow Quarters we need to do two different quests. With the Toxic Room and the Enver Boss, and with the Cultists and some Demons. Okay, you enter this door over here, and there is another hidden door on this side, so that's 2 mini-maps where you need to win 2 fights. Okay, loot them all, and you're done as far as Shadow Quarters go. There will be a quarantine area over here where you cannot pass, and you won't be able to pass for a long time. That's coming a lot later in this guide. Now, once we cleared these 2 fights, there is only one thing left. To go to the door, pass, go straight to the atrium, and go to this part of the map where the funeral happens. Or better to say, who is Fidelio quest. It's a long quest, pretty much straightforward. You start it right over here, you speak with all NPCs, check out what's happening with the funeral, then you're gonna go down here, there is a hidden door right on this spot over here. You will enter the door, there's gonna be an ambush, there's gonna be 2 fights on a mini-map, you're gonna exit, you're gonna come back again to the funeral, a big fight will happen, that all depends out of your choices. Again, that would be the consequences. And once you fight with everyone here at this spot, Fidelio quest ends, and with that ends the entire Footfall for now. What is important to say before you leave Footfall? Trade with everyone, with Doloroso, with Ryza, with Opticon, and off you go to the Koronus Expanse. Here we are at the Koronus Expanse, and this would be the entirety of Act 2, or better to say of Chapter 2. At the start you won't have all of this available, of course you're only gonna have few of the systems available. And the first system that we want to visit immediately, no going left or right, there is a reason for everything that I say, would be System Trinitios. So that's where we're gonna warp to Trinitios. Once you go to Trinitios, there's gonna be a bunch of things to do and explore, planets and so on, and there is going to be your first colony, or better to say Foulstone. What you got basically here in Trinitios is a ship combat, a place to dig, and your newfound, or better to say, your very first colony, named Foulstone. Once we do all of that, when everything is done, when you dig, when you make a colony out of Foulstone and so on, you're gonna do those upgrades for the Foulstone, which is gonna be in a separate video of how to do it. Then you're gonna exit, and the next area where we're gonna go to would be Telikos Epsilon, or better to say Janus. Janus is one of the main worlds that you need to counter, your agro planet, okay, for the food. Kiava Gamma for the manufacturing, and Dargonus as your home planet. This is the first and the most important thing to do. Going to Telikos Epsilon from Trinitios straight to Janus. This is how Telikos Epsilon looks like. You can dig over here, and here is Janus. On Janus, you go straight for it, and you're gonna land in a Governor Yacht's estate. And now let's go to Janus. Here we are at Janus in System Telikos, better to say System Telikos Epsilon. You're gonna start from here, and the very first thing that you're gonna encounter is Janus Welcome Party. After you're done with that, loot everything there is around in this area. Once done with this area, you're gonna go hug every line. There is good secret in this area, there is a good secret in this area, okay, things to loot, just go into every corner. There are awareness checks, perception checks, awareness checks, and there is a lot of things hidden everywhere around, okay? Just hug the lines, go everywhere like you see it here, and loot everything that exists, and go through this door, and you're gonna end up in the estate of Janus. This is the main entry. You go forward, and you're gonna speak with the governor of Janus, Vistenza Viat. My personal recommendation is to arrest Vistenza Viat immediately. Once that happens, go out, and all of these points will now be available. The hidden NPC over here, go to him, speak with him. I don't want to spoil further. Recruit your new companion and the last companion in Chapter 2, Irliet, or better to say, a bounty hunter sniper, Eldari. She is awaiting for you here. A recruiter, have her in your team, and she is a must on this map, by the way. Make a deal with her, speak with this NPC over here, make a deal with him as well, go through this door, resolve the hostage situation, and then go back to the starting point, and the starting point will take you to the Janus Forest. Now let's speak about Janus Forest. This would be the Janus Forest, the map. You're gonna start up from over here, you're gonna go straight up over here, you're gonna have the first rebel fights, loot everything up, again, everything that's available, then go through here, there's gonna be athletics checks, climb, loot all, get down, go through here, just put Abelard to loot the corpse in the center, the rest of your crew should remain over here, okay? An ambush will happen with Janusian Lacerax, and once you clear this fight, you're gonna go back all the way down, and on this point, you have athletics checks again to scale down. Once you scale down, the hardest fight on Janus, in Janus Forest will happen with the rebels and with Eldari. It's a huge fight, it really lasts long. Once you win the fight, you're gonna loot everything around here. You're gonna go up, disarm all the traps. There's gonna be a lot of checks, a lot of traps on the road as well. You're gonna go up through all of this here. You're gonna pass with checks and so on. After you loot all of this, you're gonna go to the shore here. Loot very good awareness check, amulet for Werglia. Did not forget about it. It is the most important thing right now that you can do. Then you're gonna go up here, another ambush awaits. Once you clear the ambush, there's gonna be the final boss battle or not. Your choice if you wanna side with Eldari or not. Okay, with Mu-Rho. Once you deal with Mu-Rho, you're gonna have a door, or better to say a shuttle, waiting for you, whether you decided to kill him or not. This is your choice, of course. Loot everything around again. Go to the shuttle will transport you to the void ship. From the void ship, you're gonna enter the capital of Janus again. You're gonna go straight through this door, you're gonna go here, something will happen, a hidden door will open, and the final battle will commence on corrupted Janus inside this room. What is important to say, after there is a secret right over here where the mouse is, where the hand is. There is one secret here, and there are plenty of secrets and hidden loot inside this room, as well as all the items that enemies leave, of course. With all of that now, we're done with Janus, and we got control back over Janus. Now we have a quest on Footfall for Janus, okay? And we need to go back from Telikos Epsilon to Furibundus and enter Footfall again. Also, how I showed you for the colony, when you conquered Foulstone, now Janus also becomes your colony. Make some stuff on Janus as well, if you can. Of course, if you got enough materials, which you don't, but we need to go to Footfall. So now, once we're done with Janus, we're gonna go back to Koronus Expanse, and our first objective is Furibundus, to go back to Footfall. We won't go to Footfall immediately, we're gonna go to the Silence of Mer-Segrit. Why? We're going to the Silence of Mer-Segrit so we can trigger the navigator inside. All of these new areas will show up when you search the area, and one of the areas will be your home world, Mundus Valancius. We do not go to Mundus Valancius, we visit Silence of Mer-Segrit. We go to each of the planets, dig where we can, get the additional experience for exploration, then we are going back to Koronus Expanse, then we're going to Telikos Epsilon, we're going to Janus. After Janus, we're going to Trinnitos, or better to say to Foulstone. From Foulstone, we're going straight to Furibundus, or better to say, now we go to the station Footfall. Now let's go to Footfall and finish all loose ends and get some extremely good gear. Here we are at Footfall again. So, why did we come back? First of all, you wish to speak with Opticon in Alpha Rho, see what happens over there. Once you do that, you're gonna transfer to the Atrium. Okay, you're gonna go to the Leash Palace. Now, the quarantine in Shadow Quarters is open, and you can enter. Everywhere around here are checks, perception checks, loot on all of these sides. You can see how it looks like. There's even an elevator over here that you can trigger. And once you loot all of this and whatnot, on this spot over here is the secret of secrets, okay? The final part of the secret for the hidden loot. There is a check, you succeeded check, and now you can open the Cogitator right over here in Atrium, where Hieronymus Doloroso is. The Cogitator is over here, where the mouse is. And once you trigger the data slate and the Cogitator, a hidden compartment will open under the statue, and you loot. Now, back to the quarantine zone in Shadow Quarters, there is Mutant's Lair. It's a small map when you enter, a small fight against mutants, and extremely good bolter for Argenta. And this is why we came back, basically. Not because of the secret hidden loot, that's just a bonus, okay? We came back because of Argenta's bolter that's right on this door over here. Kill them all, loot everything in a room, and equip a bolter on Argenta and have fun. It hurts like crazy and it's very good for chapter 2. What else is also important to say about Footfall before we leave Footfall for good? Speak with Doloroso, speak with Liege for extra experience, so you can tell them how you cleared everything, how you got food from Janus, how you killed the cultists. You're gonna get some small amount of experience for those conversations, but don't forget to speak with both Doloroso and Vladime in the palace. Now that would be Footfall. We're off to Koronus Expanse, and let's move on. There's a lot to cover. So now that we're done with Footfall and with Furibundus, from Furibundus we're gonna warp to Trinitos, from Trinitos to Telikos Epsilon, and from Telikos Epsilon we're gonna go to Pulvis Platinum. This is the next system that we're gonna visit. What do we got in Pulvis Platinum? In Pulvis Platinum we have one huge Voidship here that I already completed, but you need to visit the Hulk. What you got there is one small map with mutants fight and one navigator fighting off the mutants. A very important part of the playthrough, and a very important part is to come here straight from Footfall. Once you enter the Hulk and once you're done with the fight, you're gonna explore the room and you're gonna find a brilliant staff for Cassia. And that's why we are here in Pulvis Platinum, to find the staff for Cassia. It's an extremely good gear. And now that we're done with Pulvis Platinum, it is time that we go to Janus, and from Janus you're gonna make a warp jump straight to Mundus Valancius, or better to say, you're gonna make a warp jump to Dargonus. Let's jump to the home world, the home system, call it however you like. Once you are in Mundus Valancius, this is your homeworld. One of the most important parts of chapter 2 is to find your homeworld, Dargonus. Before you enter Dargonus, there's gonna be a Hulk over here for Pasqal quest. Once you finish the combat with Pasqal quest, there's gonna be Opticon 22 and whatnot. I don't wanna spoil what's happening. Do not give up on Pasqal. Fight for Pasqal. And once you're done with that, you're gonna go to Dargonus. Once we are on Dargonus, this is again one of your new colonies that's gonna appear like this with special upgrades and whatnot. You need to land at the one Valancius palace and get to know all the NPCs in your palace and around the palace. Basically, this part I don't need to show it, it's conversations only, piling up quests, getting to know the governors of different worlds and planets and some governors of Dargonus, getting to know your crew and so on. Conversations and conversations only. Once you're done with all conversations, we get out, back to the Koronus Expanse, and now the real game starts. What is our next objective? From Mundus Valancius, we're gonna warp again back to Furibundus, but we're not going into the system Furibundus. Where we go now is to Sotto's tomb, and this is your next location that you're gonna visit. Sotto's tomb basically has nothing of importance. There is one ship battle and there is a Hulk to loot and one planet to loot here. Once you're done with all of that, you go out. By the time you're in Sotto's tomb, your Dargonus will have upgrades available, and you wanna go for the Shield of the Emperor upgrade so you can get escort ship, so you can win ship battles easily. And that will also provide you with additional reputation points where you can trade for the parts to upgrade your ship. Okay, you cannot win ship battles before you upgrade the ship. In order to upgrade the ship, this is why we went for Dargonus so early on, because of the Shield of the Emperor upgrade. This is your top priority. Now, from Sotto's tomb, we're going for Aviorus. And this is the next location, the next system that we need to visit, and one of the best systems in chapter 2 and most fun. Now, why do I call it the most fun system here? First, there's a lot of XP from the planets, there's a lot of digging spots and whatnot. But the most important thing would be the Hulk over here and the map that's called Derelict Voidship. Here we are at the Derelict Voidship. The first entry point would be here. You pass through here, there is a door that's locked. Then you're gonna go through here, up over here, there is a hidden door, perception check, additional loot on this spot. You go back, you pass through here, all the way through here. Right over here on this spot, you're gonna go straight through here, again a perception check. There's a hidden door, a trap inside, additional loot in this room. You loot it all, you go back, you go straight to the cogitator, you open the door here with a cogitator check, you pass through here. Then there is electric route where you need to go like this, okay? If you don't want to get scorched, again, this is the route, these are the stairs. You go past the stairs and you go like this, you evade electricity. You trigger the cogitator, electricity disappears, you move up over here, you pass through here, you enter the room over here. There is again a trap, a good safe with solid loot over here on this spot. Then you move on over here. There is a puzzle that's coming up right now.
Advice do you seek? Oh, my ears are ringing.
Once you're done with the puzzle, there is a cogitator here. You trigger it, something happens, and now a lot of combat awaits. You go back through here, you disarm all the traps along the way. The first fight happens in this room, the second fight happens in this room, and the third fight, now you can open the door with a big boss battle, happens in this room. You do everything there is and get out. That would be the full map for the Derelict Voidship, with minimum amount of spoilers. Now that we're done with Aviorus and the Hulk, we're gonna go back to Trinitios and we're gonna warp over there just so we can pass to Omicron system. The next one would be Omicron. Now we're at Omicron. Omicron, there's only dig spots and that's about it. Nothing else with it. There is also one rumor on Savannah World, and that's about it. Explore planets, get the experience, dig up stuff, and off we go to the next system, which would be System Speculo. We warp there now. In System Speculo, we got ship combat, and we got 3 worlds to explore, dig, 1 rumor to complete, Ogre's Anomaly, and that's about it. Most of it are events and free XP as well as ship combat. Now you can do ship combat because you upgraded a ship because we went to Dargonus first. Yeah. Once we're done with System Speculo, we get out and Cassia quest will trigger. Or to be more precise, Orselio House wants Cassia, your ship navigator, back and they demand an audience with a rogue trader. The audience will take place on Mundus Valancius, and that's where we need to go now and have an epic battle to save Cassia. So what is the best route? The best route would be from either Trinitios or Telikos Epsilon. You just warp through there, you establish the point with Mundus Valancius with navigator points, and up you go straight to Dargonus. Do not forget, and I won't repeat this again, to always check out the colonies when they complete the projects and to check out the time and the projects that you can actually complete along the way. You see what happens right now. Always complete projects as fast as you can because upgrades are just phenomenal, and I'll give a full video about best colony upgrades for each of your 5 colonies. Foulstone, Janus, Dargonus, Kiava Gamma and Wibos 6. All of that we're gonna get now in chapter 2. We need to go to Dargonus and save Cassia now. Or better to say, off we go to Mundus Valancius. Right over here on Dargonus. Once we are on Dargonus, this is where you can trigger Cassia's quest, and this room is where the big fight will happen for Cassia's life. Okay, once you win that, off we go back to Koronus Expanse. So we are in Mundus Valancius. Our objective is to reach Kranach system and get the last colony, Kiava Gamma. Before we do that, from Mundus Valancius, we're gonna warp straight to the crossroads of 100 dreams. Now, you can tell by the lines. There are green lines, yellow lines, there's orange lines, and there are red lines. Red means extremely dangerous, green means extremely safe. What do I recommend? I recommend traveling on orange lines mostly. Okay, not greens, not yellows, not reds, orange, because warp ambushes will happen. When warp ambushes happen, you get XP and you get crazy amount of gear during warp ambushes. I triggered over 20 warp ambushes, and there's very good gear that you can find. When you find gear, you can trade. When you trade, your profit factor can buy very good stuff. Okay, so it is very important to go on orange lines for warp ambushes. That's just the advice. It's for the unfair difficulties, gonna work on all other difficulties as well. So, after Mundus Valancius, we're warping to the first new system on the left side of Koronus Expanse that's called Crossroads of 100 Dreams, and we visit here. Here you will get a ship fight and tons of planets and events and a lot of free XP. Okay, do everything that you see here. There's like 6 things to do. Once we're done with the Crossroads, we're porting back to Koronus Expanse and we're going to the next system. Now we're gonna go to the system called Pillars of Viridice. Very important system. Let's visit and check what it is. This would be the Pillars of Viridice. 2 free planets to visit for the extra XP and 1 ice world where you can dig and where you can also land. This is where Inquisiton Shipwreck is. Let's visit the map. This would be the Inquisiton Shipwreck map. You start from over here, there are plenty of skill checks everywhere around, okay, then you're gonna scale with athletics checks up here, you're gonna end up here, you move past here, loot everything, checks, mostly awareness and loot. Over here is a demolition check, enter the room, loot everything, go down, loot everything here, go up here. Once you reach this point, a Nurgle ambush will be around you, clear the fight on this point. There will be a chest in this room that you cannot unlock. We finish this, we move up all the way down here, and then there is a big boss fight that I won't spoil. After you're done with the fight, there's gonna be a key for the chest. You go back, you open a chest, Inquisiton Shipwreck map. You go back pedal, again athletics check, bam, to the shuttle, up to the Pillars of Viridice system, and back to the Koronus Expanse. So now, from Pillars of Viridice, we're porting to Agathus Archives system. Let's see what's there. On the spot where the ship is, there's gonna be a huge book event. Finish it and pick the option for the bridge. Why we're picking the option for the bridge? Because we're gonna get access for later on for a special room on Kiava Gamma with additional loot. So once you see the event over here, you go with the bridge. There's the crew, there's the service bay, and there's the bridge. You go for the bridge. And of course, you will visit all planets, dig where you can, check out colonies for upgrades, and get the additional experience and get out to Koronus Expanse. And now there's only Orselio Prophecy system left that we're gonna visit. Orselio Prophecy consists out of ship combat, free XP on the planets, a dig spot, and 1 event. Do it all, get out to Koronus Expanse, and now we're gonna port to Adermat II. So from Orselio Prophecy, straight to Adermat II. On Adermat II, again, free XP on planets, free dig. There's also Adamantium dig, one of the most precious materials in the game. And there will be 1 ship combat available on this map as well. What we want is Recoliger's Plot, and to finish with this mini-map. Now, we're interested in Recoliger's Plot. This is a small mini-map with 1 safe in the middle of the map. There are skill checks around the safe. Once you trigger all of those skill checks, you get the key, you open the safe, you take the loot, and off we go back to the Koronus Expanse. I don't even need to show the map because it's way too small. Also, what I forgot to mention in Orselio Prophecy, during the event, you're gonna have animal perk talent, okay? An option to get an animal perk talent, have that in mind as well. And one more thing that I forgot to mention early on was System Speculo and a map called the Bottomless Pit with 1 million skill checks and a perma buff to the rogue trader. If you succeed at those skill checks, the map is like this small, okay? So nothing important. So we are at Adermat II. Where we wanna port is to, where we wanna warp is to Porta Septentrium next. And this is our next location to visit. In Porta Septentrium, we will have a warp gate that you need to explore, all of the planets that you need to dig from and check out for the XP, scan them, and of course there is ship combat as well. Once we do all of that, we get out, we warp back to Adermat again, and now we're gonna go down south slowly towards Kiava Gamma. The first location that we wanna visit would be System Tenebris Aqua. And this is where we're gonna go next. Here we are at Tenebris Aqua. Let's visit and see what it has. All of these planets, additional XP again, a dig spot, plus steel. And on one of these planets, there's gonna be a mirror quest. Your choice how you wanna do this event. Whether you wanna take the mirror or destroy the mirror. And of course, there will be one ship combat on this map as well. Once you're done with all of that, we port out and we're gonna warp to Nolla Septum system next. Nolla Septum is extremely important because here you can dig for the precious adamantium as well as promethium over here. Visit all planets, place extractiums, dig out those resources and get the free XP from the planets. You get 50 XP per planet whenever you scan a planet. Once we're done with the system, it's time to go for Kranach, or better to say for the last colony, Kiava Gamma and the main quest. Let's enter Kranach. This is where Kiava Gamma is. Kiava Gamma is protected by ships and you need to win a ship battle in order to land on Kiava Gamma. If you did everything how I told you, you are extremely strong by now. You got ship upgrades, you got colony upgrades, and it's gonna be a very easy fight. If you do it on your own, you're gonna lose the battle against the ships here, because they're quite strong. Anyways, we visit the Dead World, Atoll, okay. We finish all of this, get the XP, get those events, and we are landing on Kiava Gamma next. Now let's go to Kiava Gamma, one of the biggest maps in the game. Welcome to Kiava Gamma. This would be your starting point from here. To the room on the left, you can acquire servitors with additional skill checks and a cogitator over here to fight for you. Then you're gonna go up. You're gonna argue with a tech priest, he's gonna call for backup, the backup will come from the elevator over here, the first huge fight will happen, once you win you go up the elevator, you move up down here, you avoid the traps, you loot everything there is, you speak with the NPC, you collect everything, all info, all items, then you go back through this route, you get athletics checks, climb down, and you go up here, where you're gonna meet the boss of the main map, or better to say the first conversation with Cubis Delphim. He's gonna rotate this bridge to look like this, so it's not gonna be like this, it's gonna be like this. So now you need to go around, clear out the tech priests again that are guarding the main cogitator over here, where you can click, the bridge rotates, and it connects to the door. You go down with Heinrichs in your team, and this is his main quest. Heinrich's main quest, where he wants to evaporate the evil on Kiava Gamma. It's a very small map, I don't need to show it. One big fight awaits you when you go down. You win the fight, Heinrichs is happy, you loot everything there is on that map, and up you go again on this door. Now, with this bridge connected like this, you click the cogitator again, you pass like this, you enter this room, and now you remember when I said the system with the event for the service bay, the crew, and the bridge. We picked the bridge, which means now on the cogitator here, we can open the bridge and we can enter the hidden room and loot everything inside. Okay, that's why we picked the bridge in a previous system. Once we loot that, we're gonna go down south, avoid the traps, disarm them, loot everything around, go up here, go down, do all the skill checks, do the hidden stuff in this area over here, and we're gonna fight Demons. Once we win against the Corrupted Tech Priest, Pasqal will have something to say about it and whatnot. It's your choice how you wanna deal with it. You're gonna go up here, you're gonna enter this room, you're gonna get the valve, okay, from the train. There is a puzzle, skill checks basically. You win 2 skill checks, the train cargo hits the other, valve drops, you pick up the valve, you install the valve here, a hidden room opens up, Theodora's hidden room on Kiava Gamma with a cogitator. You do everything, that all the skill checks, you disarm the traps and whatnot, okay, and you collect the loot. Once you do that, a huge fight awaits you in this area, and this is a boss that's guarding the boss, okay. So once you kill this boss, Chaos Marine, once you kill him, then the main fight with Cubis Delphin will happen in this room, the door will open, and that would be Kiava Gamma. Also, something will happen once you kill Cubis Delphin, which I don't want to spoil, and you can go back to the Koronus Expanse. That would be the entire Kiava Gamma, 100% everything that you can do on a map. So now, the next thing that we need to do after we're done with Cranach system and we get the colony of Kiava Gamma, do not forget to go into Kiava Gamma and push up for the additional Extractium's production. Okay, with these upgrades here. I'll tell you what to take on a different video, of course. What we need to do now, we connect every colony, okay, Janus, then Foulstone, and now we're gonna connect Cranach, or better to say Kiava Gamma. We're gonna make a warp towards Mundus Valancius. So your main center, homeworld, is warped with all of the colonies, so you can visit them easily once they trigger quests that require for you to be on those planets. Okay, that's why we're doing it like this. Now we're porting to the Mundus Valancius, and on Mundus Valancius we're gonna trigger Jae, Heidari, and Argenta quest. You're gonna see it once you click on the world. Once you finish Jae and Argenta's quest, you are back again to the Koronus Expanse. Now, from Mundus Valancius, we want to explore the bottom right part of the map, or better to say, all of this here. So let's go. Now, from Mundus Valancius, we're warping to Telikos Epsilon. From Telikos Epsilon, we're warping to the Trinitos system, and from Trinitos system, we are warping into the Cradle of Kepri. And this is the new area that we want to explore. Let's go to the Cradle of Kepri. We're gonna visit all of these planets, get the XP, get the dig, and so on. There is Xenotech here, and over here on the ice world is where the Ice Turret's ambush is. A very good map with extremely good loot. Let's visit it. So we're landing on a distressed signal. You can also dig up Prometheum here. This would be the distressed signal zone map. This is the landing spot. You can loot some skill checks here as well. Left and right, you go everywhere here. Then there is athletics check. You pass through the main area here where the ambush is. Once you trigger the main distress signal, turrets will spawn. You can disable one turret with a skill check. Once you kill turrets, there's plenty of hidden stuff and plenty of traps around. This is one of the hardest fights in the game, by the way. So that's why we're going in late for this fight. And once you win the fight, disable the traps, loot everything, tons of awareness check and whatnot, you're gonna destroy the relay system, and there is a hidden wall here that's gonna unlock a bunker. Go down in the bunker, it's a mini map, and loot everything there is in a bunker. Care for traps, I believe there were 2 traps inside of it. Loot everything and get out to the Koronus Expanse again. So now, from the Cradle of Kepri, we're warping to the Palatium Stellus. And that's the last thing that we need to do in this part of the map. We're gonna go up north. So let's visit Palladium Stellos and see what it's got. Palladium Stellos will have a trade option ship here, your choice if you wanna trade with them or not. They're not available right now on this save, but they will be there for you. Of course, visit all planets, you can dig Plasteel and Xenotech, I recommend digging Xenotech, and of course, get the free XP on all of these planets, and off we go back to the Mundus Valancius again. Now, as you can tell, I've warped from Palladium Stellos, because Palladium Stellos has one named planet for later on in the game. We're gonna make a warp from Palladium Stellos to the Silence of Mer-Segrit. There is a reason for that, just warp it and push on. Again, it's for the later on in the game, I'm just building a route so you don't roam around. From Mer-Segrit, we are warping to Mundus Valancius. At this time, they gonna give you a quest on Dargonus to go to Vibos 6 in Mortus Aces, and that is the main quest. Vibos 6 Mortus Aces. Or better to say, that's going to be your last colony. We do not go to Vibos 6, now we're gonna go to Mundus Nullius, and we're gonna finish up the last 4 areas in the game before we go north. Let's see what's in Mundus Nullius. You can dig Plasteel and you can get free XP from these planets, and that's about it. Very empty system. From Mundus Nullius, we're gonna go to Latotian's Passage next. Now let's see what's in Latotian's Passage. It's very important system, by the way. Here we have a rocky world where we can dig up precious adamantium and get XP, and we got a dead world with the unidentified ruins map, or better to say a puzzle map with one huge fight. Let's visit it and see what it is. So here we are in unidentified ruins. You're gonna pass through here, you're gonna go up here, you're gonna loot everything here, there's awareness checks, then you're gonna scale with athletics straight into this room. Let's see what it is. This would be the unidentified ruins puzzle, where you need to resolve the puzzle, place an item that you found over here, okay, and resolve the puzzle again for additional loot that will spawn inside the jaws of this creature. Puzzle solution incoming now. Once we're done with the puzzle, we're going back through the door, better to say, in a shuttle, back to the void ship to Koronus Expanse. And yeah, I forgot to say that you also need to win the fight after you loot everything, okay? And I don't wanna spoil what fight. So now, from Latotian's Passage, we gonna warp straight to Mu-Rho 79 system, and let's see what it's got. Mu-Rho 79 has an explorator void station that you can visit and speak with them. It has Plasteel to dig, some additional experience from the planets, and it has one event, and that's about it. Nothing to do here. We warp into Koronus Expanse again, and we're going to the Langren's Belt. This is our next system to visit. Here we are at Langren's Belt. Let's see what we got over here now. There's actually quite a lot of things to do in Langren's Belt. Get the XP from all of these worlds, you can dig Plasteel and provisions, and there is a Ravaged Void station, as well as ship combat. in the same system that you can win for extra XP for the ship and additional loot. They also leave good loot for your Void ship once you win the battle. Now let's visit the Ravaged Void Station and see what it is. This would be the entry point. You don't go straight, you go over here, there is a perception check, you scale up, and you're gonna trigger the fight with 30 rebels at once. One of the funniest fights in the game, an absolute chaos. 30 rebels at once from this area over here. You're gonna hold the high ground and whack them as they are coming to breach towards you, okay? There is a huge battle and they gonna leave a very good heavy armor and a lot of heavy armors and a very good helmet. Once you loot the helmet and you loot that, there's gonna be additional loot on this spot over here. You're gonna go to the same spot where you entered, exit, go back to the system and back to the Koronus Expanse. So now, from Langren's belt, we're gonna traverse to the system called Nameless Star. Let's see what's with Nameless Star. Here, on Nameless Star, you got a lot of planets to visit, you got plasteel and precious adamantium to dig, so keep those extractiums for adamantium and xenotech mostly. And now, once you get the XP from all of the planets, you wanna visit Oasis 5 and land down in the Ancient Bunker, a very important map. What is important to say about the Ancient Bunker? This is the map, this is the starting point. You go towards here, trigger the cogitator, open the door, go up here, loot everything on the right, go through here, loot everything in this room, go over here, up here, all the way here, get the keys, go down, enter, loot everything, unlock the door with a key, loot all, there's plenty of traps, plenty of awareness checks. Once you hug every wall, as you can see it here, you should loot everything that exists on the map. You can also go down for additional loot here with a cogitator that opens this area. What is the most important item that you can find on this map, and why did I say it's important? You can find one of the best laser rifles in the game on this map. It's empty, there is no one, there is no combat. So now, once you loot it all, and once you checked what happened with the Ancient Bunker and how and from what everyone died in here, if you wanna listen to the story that is, you're gonna go back and bam, Turret's ambush will happen, and that's the only fight. Kinda easy fight to win, to be honest. You whack those 4 turrets, you get out, and you got a crazy good laser rifle from this map, as well as a lot of additional loot, of course. Let's go back to Koronus Expanse again. So now, from the Nameless Star, we're gonna warp to the Forgotten Twins. Forgotten Twins is where Irliet's quest is. One of your companions, Eldari Irliet, okay? This is connected with her. There's gonna be an event, visit every world. You can dig up plasteel here. There is a jungle world with a point of interest as well. And tons of free XP from the planets. That's about it. Only events and free XP in Forgotten Twins. Now we're gonna go back again to Koronus Expanse. And from Forgotten Twins, we're gonna make a manual warp with navigator points all the way to the Frozen Prince. This is the only way to reach this and the proper way to reach this. Let's go to the Frozen Prince now. Now let's see what's in a Frozen Prince system. Frozen Prince system is full to the brim with digging options, mostly plasteel, free XP for the ship, and Prometheum dig. And that's about it. You port up to Koronus Expanse, and we're gonna warp to the final area that's called Emperor's Palm. Okay, and that's the final system available in this south part of Koronus Expanse before we go for the main quest. Now let's see what's in the Emperor's Palm. Emperor's Palm has Euphrates II, that's not for now but for later acts, and it has 2 dig spots, mostly plasteel, and some free XP, and that's about it for chapter 2. There is nothing else here. Also, what you're gonna encounter is 1 ship combat in this area with very good rewards and a lot of XP once you win the fight. Now, from the Emperor's Palm, we're warping back to Mundus Valancius, or better to say to Dargonus. And now you can go back to Janus, finish Jai's quest, go back to Dargonus and complete Jai's quest. And now the time has come to finish the final part of Chapter 2. Only 7 systems left. From Mundus Valancius, we're porting in to Pelium Solitas. Let's see what's in Pelium Solitas. Pelium Solitas is the emptiest system in the game. All you need to do is get the free XP, collect the Burning World quest and so on for some optional quests and rumors, and that's about it. Back to Koronus Expanse, and the next system we're gonna visit would be Narmer IV. Let's see what's in a System Narmer IV. System Narmer IV will have 1 ship combat over here and 3 worlds to visit where you can dig Phlogiston, very important resource, and provisions. And of course, free XP. Once you're done with the ship combat and with all of this, we're porting out. And from Narmer IV, we're gonna go to Odaenathus XI. Let's warp to the next system. In this system, we got 4 planetoids to visit, we can dig Plestial, and that's about it. Also, there is 1 event on these planets as well as ship combat. Once you do all of that, you port out and we're gonna go to Mortius Aces. This is where the main quest is. But we do not visit Mortius Aces, we're gonna go straight to the Lepidus Mortius. So from Mortius Aces, we are warping to Lepidus Mortius. That's next. Now let's see what's in Lepidus Mortius. We're gonna visit the system. There is 1 ship battle again in Lepidus Mortius. You can dig Plasteel, you can dig Adamantium, and you can dig Plasteel again, and there is Xenotech, so it's quite a rich system, as well as ship battle for XP and additional planets for XP, and that's about it. And some additional loot for your ship as well. Okay. Once we're done with Lepidus Mortius, we're gonna go to the Last Chance of Cyrene system. Now let's see what's over there. The Last Chance of Cyrene has the mysterious object, and we can dig Prometheum over here and get free XP. Check out what's the mysterious object on your own, I don't wanna spoil. Now we're opting in back, and from Last Chance of Cyrene in a Koronus Expanse, we're gonna go to Litorbium Maledicta system. Now this is a very interesting system with a very interesting map. You can go and dig Plasteel, provisions, again Plasteel, and here we got 1 planet to land on. What you'll get here is 1 of the events, your choice how you want to do it. And here on Savannah World we got a Wasteland Wayfarer map. It's a very small map, but it's a very good one, and I don't wanna spoil, you need to do it and check it out on your own. Basically there's nothing over there. There are 2 perception checks, 1 with demolition, the other one for loot, and then there's the chaos awaiting for you. So, not literal chaos, I mean chaos like in battle. I love the map, I love the style of that fight, and you need to check it out on your own, I don't wanna spoil. Finish it, it's like 15 minutes map, very cool one. So now from Litorbium Maledicta we are going back to the Lapidus Mortius, and from Lapidus Mortius we are warping to Mortius Aces and go to Vibos 6, the prison planet. So what we got here are the worlds to visit for the free XP, and there is Vibos 6, your new colony. There's gonna be a very small map to land over there with your shuttle and 1 combat, okay, in the middle. Once you deal with Drukaris on the planet, you're gonna colonize Vibos 6, and that's going to be your last colony, okay, and this is closely connected to the main quest. From this moment on, it's a straightforward line to finish Chapter 2. And that's why I left Vibos 6 for the end. We explored the entire Chapter 2 and the entire Koronus Expanse without missing a single thing, and now we can only focus on main quest and finish Chapter 2 in the next 3 to 5 hours, depends on what difficulty you play on. So now, when we're done with Drukhari's on Vibos 6, we're porting out and we're going back to the Mundus Valancius with a manual warp, because we want to connect our colonies to the main world. We connected every single system of Foulstone, of Janus, of Dargonus, of Kiava Gamma, and now we're connecting Vibos to Mundus Valancius, and you can go everywhere now very fast from Dargonus. Okay, that's the main point of why we did everything like we did from the very start. So what's gonna happen now? Your main quest will send you, and this is why I connected Dargonus as well with Mer-Segrit a long time ago. If you remember when I told you it doesn't matter why I do it, this is why I do it. Now the main quest will send us to Mer-Segrit, where Drukharis are. You're gonna finish that part with Drukharis, I believe it's only ship combat, and then they're gonna send you to Grantis world, or better to say to Pelium Solitas. Okay, and this is the area where you need to visit next, and it's one mini map with again one battle with Drukharis. After we're done with Mer-Segrit into Pelium Solitas, we're going back to Dargonus again. Now, from Dargonus, the main quest will trigger with a Last Chance of Cyrene with a ship combat where the mysterious gate was, so you can also opt in to warp directly from Dargonus to the Last Chance of Cyrene. There is only ship combat. While you do the fight on the Last Chance of Cyrene, Drukharis will attack your homeworld, Dargonus, so now you need to go back from the Last Chance of Cyrene to Dargonus. In the meantime, not only that you're gonna have ship combat on the Last Chance of Cyrene, you're gonna have ship battle, okay, space battle, and you're gonna have a boarding battle, boarding party on your ship with Drukharis as well, so double combat at the same time. Once you clear Drukharis ships and Drukharis invaders on your ship, you're going back to Mundus Valancius to defend Dargonus, where another ship battle awaits you, and then it's the landing on Dargonus. Now let's see what happens on Dargonus and finish with chapter 2. So, enemy ships will be located around Dargonus. You cannot land on Dargonus until you clear out enemy ships, or better to say Drukhari ships. Then you can land on Dargonus. Once you land on Dargonus, the very first fight will happen in this area. Then the next fight against Drukharis will happen in this area. Then you enter the palace, where another 2 fights await. Once you enter the palace, you're gonna go up the stairs here, and you're gonna save Skelander, okay, from the invaders. And then you're gonna backpedal up here, go to the main room, and there's gonna be the final battle of chapter 2. Once you're done with the final battle, you will go back to the void ship. You're gonna speak with your Wax Master, and you're gonna tell him that you wanna start the ceremony of Rogue Trader, where you're gonna be officially presented as a Rogue Trader of the House von Valancius. The party will start. You're gonna have guests outside and inside the palace, where you can speak with other Rogue Traders. In Cindia Chorda and Winterscale, where you're gonna speak with governors, where you're gonna speak with Xavier, the main Ordoxenos Inquisitor. And once the conversation here in your room ends with Lord Xavier, chapter 3 will start. How do you know that chapter 3 started, and when does it start? So once chapter 3 starts, you appear in this room, and when you exit on this door, on the main door, when you see Irliet in front, that's when the chapter 3 starts. Irliet will give you a quest for the chapter 3 to go and investigate a suspicious event. And that's the event, or better to say the chapter 3, that we're gonna do on the next video. Now, for the end, I'm gonna leave you with all items that you can find in chapter 2. I'm gonna hover over every item that exists in the game from prologue till the end of chapter 2, or better to say till the start of chapter 3. So 1 second per item, pause where you want if you wish to inspect the item, and at the end of this video there's also gonna be this entire guide in a written form. And If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be seeing you on chapter 3 when we're gonna start with Komorak. Komora, call it how you like. Thanks for watching.
ready for Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader, because I am. The Emperor protects.